Hello, everyone, and welcome to Built in the Bluegrass. I'm Tommy Lawson. I am the executive producer of Built in the Bluegrass, and today your host. Uh, we're honored to be the spotlight sponsor for CAM's Coolest Thing Made in Kentucky tournament presented by Kentucky Farm Bureau. And today we have a very familiar face. He's done an episode with us before. We're spotlighting HempWood. Obviously, our special guest today is Greg Wilson, and I will let him introduce himself.
Well, howdy, everybody. It's Greg Wilson coming in from Murray, Kentucky, right in far western Kentucky, where we are the only manufacturers of hempwood in the world.
Nice. Thank you for joining us again, Greg. And tell us a little bit about HempWood, what you all do, and the product that everybody's voting for.
Well, hempwood is the most sustainable, healthy building material in the world. We do that right here in Murray, Kentucky at our two factories where we've got 25 employees. And we're proud to say that we are the only ones in the world crazy enough to make this product because we take hemp stalks, which is the fastest growing plant on land, pulling carbon from the air, and we bind it together with a soy-based glue because we don't want any of our employees, we don't want any of our installers, and we don't want any of our end customers to have to be breathing in the toxic chemicals that typically come with your cheap building materials that come in from overseas. So not only are we made in America, we're only made in Kentucky.
Nice. What sets you all apart from other companies that are similar to yours?
Well, so the Kentucky Department of Agriculture likes to brag on us, saying that Kentucky agriculture only has one thing that no one else in the world has, and it's not horses, it's not bourbon, it's not chicken, it's hempwood, because nowhere else in the world can you find this product. And that's because the state of Kentucky was great to us and said, when everybody else was saying that's crazy, we don't really want to get involved with it because hemp wasn't federally legal yet. It was only legal in the state of Kentucky, Colorado, Vermont, and Oregon. Murray State said, let's do this. And everywhere else said, no way. And now it's turning out to be showing the improvement in indoor air quality from using soy or a plant-based glue instead of formaldehyde is leading to a higher cognitive ability in the Warren County Public Schools, where this is going into University of Kentucky, into Murray State, into University of Louisville. So you're actually seeing better outcomes for students inside of classrooms that have hempwood instead of formaldehyde. So they're trying to get rid of all these dirty chemicals out there like asbestos, formaldehyde, lead paint, all of these things. And the answer is actually grown by our farmers right here in the Commonwealth. And that's hemp and soy.
Nice. Yeah, we went over a little bit about the history of hempwood when the last time you were on, and you had a couple opportunities in other places that you know that thought about bringing your company in, but at last it was Kentucky that opened their arms and said, "Come here, please. We have everything ready for you."
Oh, absolutely. Kentucky's a little bit country and a little bit rock and roll, and that's kind of where we fit.
Right. Uh, why do you think your product is the coolest thing made in Kentucky?
Well, everything else people have heard of before. Something cool is something new. It's something that kind of stops you when you walk by and see it and say, holy shit, what is that? And hempwood has never been seen before. 98% of the American population has never heard of us, has no idea what we're doing. But here in Kentucky, people look at it and say, you know what? That makes sense because there's nothing more Kentucky than hemp. And this is a big timber state. So you're literally just taking agriculture and forestry, putting it together and making a product that makes sense, but it had never been done before, especially because hemp was illegal for the last 75 years. And now you've got kind of that forbidden fruit that people are saying, you know what? This is our heritage. This makes sense. It only seems fit that it's coming from Kentucky here.
Yeah, we have a mutual contact that sent your name and company over to me once upon a time, and I saw HempWood, and I was like, "What the heck? What is that?" So I looked you up, went down the rabbit hole of the old YouTubes, and I was like, "Dude, that's pretty cool. That's super awesome." And then I got to the part where you said it grows full in 4 months to
Yep.
what 6 8 feet tall.
Yep. Absolutely. So it's taking the Kentucky heritage with one of Kentucky's strongest points, which is agriculture, and making it cool for the next generation. Because we have a lot of our growers that say, "Hey, my grandson said Murray State told us about this hemp crop. Can we grow some, Grandpa?" And so you've got a grandfather grandson duo that are growing hemp. We get a lot of our customers that are older people saying, "Hey, I don't know how to connect to my son or my daughter, but I've got a wood shop out in the garage." And he came back and heard about your product and said, "Hey, can we make a cutting board, or can we make something out of this?" So it's kind of connecting the generation, or what's cool for somebody who's 16 years old, with what people were doing growing hemp in the state of Kentucky for World War II for the war effort. So it's kind of bridging that whole generational gap with, typically floring's boring, but making it out of hempwood turns it into a whole story where people can never get enough of it.
That's awesome. All right, Greg. Well, thank you for being on today. Again, we are honored to be the spotlight sponsor of Cam's Coolest Thing Made in Kentucky. And this has been the Hempwood Spotlight.
Well, thank you. Vote for us.